What if you can get a 100-inch gaming display with the input lag that actually competes with a gaming monitor? So today in this video sponsored by Optoma, we're going to be talking about Optoma's two new projectors, the Optoma PK32 and the Optoma PK31. These are two compact 4K LED projectors designed specifically for gamers or anyone else who wants a massive big screen experience without a giant flat panel television set dominating their space. When you look at these two projectors, they look pretty much identical, but the PK32 actually offers several improvements and upgrades. So in this video, we're going to talk about both units, gaming performance, image quality, setup flexibility, but I'm also going to explain to you why the PK32 is worth the extra money over the PK31. Now, both of these projectors offer excellent image quality, but a big reason why somebody may purchase one of these two projectors is actually their gaming performance. Both of these projectors are capable of delivering input lag as low as 4.6 milliseconds when playing 1080p Full HD content at 240 Hertz or 240 frames per second. That is monitor level responsiveness. Now, when you're playing 1080p content at 120 frames per second, the input lag only increases slightly to 8 milliseconds, which is still incredibly fast. Even when playing games at 4K at 60 frames per second, which is the resolution and the frame rate that most console gamers who have Xboxes or PlayStations are going to be utilizing, the input lag is still only 16 milliseconds. 16 milliseconds is very, very fast, and most people who are casual gamers, that is more than responsive enough on most games that they are playing. Both of these projectors have a game mode as one of their preset picture modes, but that mode basically adjusts the contrast and brightness settings to help lift objects out of the shadows and make them easier to see. If you want the lowest response time possible, you're going to need to go into the menu and switch the low latency mode to on. I took some measurements with my 4K Leo Bonar lag tester to confirm Optoma's input lag specifications. My measurements showed the input lag for 4K 60 at 17 milliseconds. When I went to 1080p at 120 Hertz, it measured 8.9 milliseconds. And when I measured 1080p at 240 frames per second, it measured just 4.5 milliseconds, which is incredibly fast. If you're playing games like Call of Duty, Fortnite, or a competitive racing game, these projectors feel really responsive. And they do really well on fast action games that even some TVs still struggle with. If you've never played a game on a 100-inch screen, it is really an amazing experience. Open world games seem bigger, racing games seem faster and more realistic. Split screen multiplayer games are way more fun because everyone has enough screen space. Even playing on a Nintendo Switch is fantastic because the large image really enhances party games and couch co-ops. Things like Mario Kart on a 100-inch screen is honestly awesome. So let's talk about the physical makeup of both of these projectors. The one thing I liked about both of these models is how compact they are. The chassis measure just about 9 inches wide and under 5 inches tall. So both of these units can easily fit on a coffee table or a shelf. The PK32 weighs about 6 pounds, while the PK31 is slightly lighter at 5.2 pounds. The main difference in weight is probably because the PK32 has a motorized lens assembly and more connections. Regardless, they're both small enough and light enough to easily move from room to room. So you could use it in a dorm room one day, a bedroom for the next day, and then maybe take it to your friend's house for a multiplayer gaming experience on the weekend. As I mentioned, the PK32 costs $200 more than the PK31, but Optoma added several upgrades that significantly improve the overall user experience, and I believe it's worth the money. So what are the differences between the models? Well, the PK32 includes a motorized lens that offers autofocus and 1.3 optical zoom, which means when you move the projector, it automatically refocuses itself. The PK31 offers a manual lens, and the lens adjustments are located on the top of the chassis. However, whenever you move the unit from place to place, this requires you to manually focus the image every single time. Honestly, this matters more than you might think because remember, these are designed to be portable projectors. So they're going to be moved a lot from room to room to room. So being able just to place the PK32 on a table and have it automatically focus and keystone correct itself is actually a great feature. The PK32 also has a shorter throw ratio. So for example, the PK32 can display a 100-inch image from 8.5 feet away, while the PK31 requires 11 feet. So if you're gaming in a small bedroom or dorm space, the PK32 is definitely easier to position. Both projectors have a built-in sound system, and they do a good job filling a small to moderately sized room with sound. But the PK32 includes a dual 5-watt stereo speaker system, while the PK31 has a single mono speaker. If you're someone that's looking to connect it to a big external sound system, the PK32 also includes an HDMI eARC connection, which allows it to send high-quality multi-channel audio to a soundbar or AV receiver. I shouldn't mention that neither of these projectors have built-in Wi-Fi or a built-in smart OS with streaming apps. So if you want to enjoy streaming content, you're going to need to connect these to either a Roku, a Fire Stick, or an Apple TV via HDMI. The PK32 clearly wins when it comes to connectivity. You get dual HDMI 2.0 ports, including one that supports eARC to send audio to a soundbar or an AVR. This also means you can connect both a game console and a streaming stick to this unit at the same time. The PK31, on the other hand, only has a single HDMI port. So if you want to switch between your Xbox, an Apple TV, or a Nintendo Switch, you're going to find yourself swapping cables. The PK32 also includes a USB-C alt mode input, which is really useful if you want to connect the unit to a gaming laptop or a handheld gaming device. Since the PK32 has 2 HDMI inputs and a USB-C alt mode connection, you basically have 3 video inputs. I took the time to watch content on both projectors, and the image on both looked really good. They utilize a 0.47-inch DMD chip that has Texas Instruments XPR pixel shifting technology, so they both can deliver 4K on-screen resolution. So when viewing content from a normal viewing distance, the image looked really sharp. Text and gaming menus looked really crisp. It was easy to see characters way off in the distance, and fine textures in the games were extremely detailed. One of the noticeable differences when it comes to picture quality between the two projectors is the brightness. The PK32 has a rated brightness of 1100 ISO lumens. When the projector is in its bright mode, I measured 1090. The PK31 has a brightness rating of 900, and when this projector is in bright mode, I measured 862. With the exception of the bright mode, the brightnesses of the other picture modes measured very close to each other. The PK32 modes were all around 750 lumens, while the brightness of the PK32's modes were around 610 lumens. Neither one of these projectors would be classified as a bright room projector. But in a dark room, they look really good on screen sizes up to 100 inches, especially when viewing SDR. Me personally, when I was watching HDR, I recommend about 85 inches because that makes the colors look really rich and saturated. The light source in the PK32 is not only brighter, but it also delivers more natural looking colors. The PK31 utilizes a traditional RGB LED laser light system, which delivers very good color reproduction. However, the PK32 uses a 4 LED light source, which adds a 4th amber LED element, and this makes a visible difference. Warm colors like sunsets, fire effects, skin tones, and golden lighting in games just looks more natural and nuanced on the PK32. So if you play a lot of cinematic games like God of War or Horizon Forbidden or Zelda or Red Dawn Redemption 2, you'll notice the warmer, richer color reproduction of the PK32. The black levels and contrast on these projectors are good for a compact DLP projector, but deep blacks still appear closer to dark gray. However, anyone that was going to be watching a movie or playing a game on these projectors will probably be more than happy with their unit's black levels. When viewing SDR, there's 5 different preset picture modes. The best looking picture modes out of the box were Reference and Cinema. Both of these modes offer similar color temperature, but the Cinema mode, the colors seem to be a little bit more vibrant and the blacks seem a little deeper. When watching content on either one of these 2 models, I chose to use the Cinema mode with the dynamic black setting engaged because I thought that looked best. The extra color intensity provided by the Cinema mode is actually beneficial when watching one of these projectors on a larger screen or in a room with ambient light. When it comes to color reproduction, most of the picture modes on these projectors are really good, with the exception of the bright mode. Like most bright modes, it's there basically to maximize the amount of brightness possible from the projector. But the end result is a color temperature that is greenish and, in my opinion, unusable. So unless you absolutely have to have every ounce of brightness from this projector, I would not recommend using it. Both of these models, however, support HDR10 and HLG. And they're both able to display 95% of the DCI-P3 color gamut, which is used to master most HDR content. But the PK32 benefits from that 4th LED color channel, so colors just look a little bit more realistic. When it comes to HDR, both projectors have one HDR picture mode, but that picture mode delivered good color reproduction. There's also an HDR picture mode for HLG. Since these projectors can reproduce 95% of the DCI-P3 color space, HDR material did look really good, especially on smaller screens. The PK32 also supports 3D, but due to the projector's limited brightness, if you're going to utilize the 3D feature, I would recommend keeping the screen size smaller than 85 inches. Whether I was viewing HDR or SDR, the color reproduction of both of these projectors are very good. In fact, the color reproduction of the PK31 is as good or better than most of the RGB LED compact projectors that I have reviewed in the past. Now, while this delivered great colors, I preferred the image on the PK32. This unit's 4 LED light source really does improve the look of skin tones, making them look more natural than how they appear on most LED-equipped projectors. In fact, I thought colors and skin tones looked better on this projector than many RGB laser-equipped DLP projectors that I have reviewed that cost significantly more. While I recommend you use a screen or at least a white wall, there will be times where you may have to project an image on a wall that is not white. These projectors even have a wall color adjustment, which tries to compensate for wall color to maximize as much color accuracy as possible. The sound systems in these projectors play loud enough to fill a small or moderately sized room. They produce clear dialogue, which makes it easy to understand gaming narration and characters on a TV show or even a sports announcer. But both sound systems lack bass. The stereo speakers in the PK32 does provide a little bit more spaciousness. When it comes to audible noise, the PK32 and the PK31 are pretty quiet. Even with the projector set up less than 5 feet away from me, I could barely hear them even when the sound was muted. The PK31 and PK32 are part of Optoma's Photon Life projector series, which is designed to appeal to buyers in apartments, dorm rooms, and other shared living spaces like military barracks. There's a third model, by the way, in this lineup called the PH31. This one is actually a 1080p projector that retails for about $699. It is brighter at 1500 ISO lumens, but it lacks the 4K resolution and the HDR support and the gaming mode. But it would be a great backyard theater type projector. Overall, these two projectors are excellent options for anyone looking for a compact projector that delivers a good-looking large image. but they should definitely appeal to gamers looking for an affordable way to get a massive 4K image with ultra low input lag. So if you're someone with an Xbox Series X, a PlayStation 5, a Nintendo Switch, or even maybe a high refresh rate gaming PC, both the PK32 and the PK31 are really good options. Both projectors can deliver input lag as low as 4.6 milliseconds when playing games at full HD at 240 frames per second. That's really fast for a projector. After spending time with both projectors, I'll tell you I like both models. However, I do think that the PK32 is worth the extra money. You get higher brightness, better warm tone color reproduction, motorized zoom and autofocus, dual HDMI inputs, and a USB-C connection to connect to a gaming system or PC. It also has eARC, stereo speakers, and a shorter throw ratio. All of those upgrades really do improve the user experience as well as the daily gaming experience. But if you're on a tighter budget, the PK31 offers excellent gaming response and 4K image quality. But if you could stretch your budget, the PK32 is definitely the model I would recommend most for gaming and home entertainment enthusiasts. For more details about these two projectors, check out our full review on projectorreviews.com. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And lastly, if you're interested in purchasing one of these two models, we would appreciate it if you utilize one of the affiliate links found in our description below, because we get paid a small commission at no cost to you, which allows us to do more videos like this. So take care, everyone, and we will talk to you soon.